what is the best way to level up the traders without spending too much money on them? And by spending, I mean getting the value out of your rubles. This video is about solving that problem of how do I get my traders leveled up in such a way that I don't essentially waste money. The first step is to identify which trader pays the most for each item. In the case of Prapor, there's one thing that he only buys, and that case is grenades. This grenade, I would typically not sell it. I would sell, for example, stuff like this. So I sell them to Prapor, but that's the only thing. In the case of therapists, you sell the valuable items, stuff that you would have in your Hall of Fame, like valuable item like these, the bitcoins, any expensive hideout item like this. You would buy them for the highest. Medical items, food as well. You would typically not struggle with her. As you can see, I have a lot of money spent. Gear. To skier, you sell nothing. There's nothing that he buys that another trader would offer a better price. He's a guy that you only buy stuff from. He basically scams you if you ever sell anything to him. For PeaceKeeper, he's the only trader that buys these kind of items. The intelligence items, for example, this the spy one is it was 26k rubles, which is a bit less than this, so you can make money if you get your dollars by buying them from PeaceKeeper. And the cool thing about the intelligence items is that if you have a docs case, they can fit in there, and even if you die, you can still sell them to PeaceKeeper. It's a bit niche, but it's a good way to level them up. Mechanic, it's kind of like therapist, but for weapon parts, and you will not struggle with them. For Ragman is also like kind of a special trader. He's the main guy that you use to buy clothing items or like wearable gear from. So, and he's also the guy that would pay the most for those kind of gear. So with Jaeger, even though I said mechanic is your go-to to sell night vision, some specific attachments, I don't know exactly which ones are these. I narrowed down night vision. Jaeger pays a bit more than mechanic. Also, like the bolt action rifles, Jaeger will pay more compared to mechanic. So you keep an eye on that. Let's see. I think I have a bolt action over here. Yes. For example, if I try to sell this to Jaeger, he won't buy it because he won't buy my AP ammo, nor the rotor, and I think also not the magazine. But if you compare to mechanic, he'll give you a better price. So, and this applies to shotguns and bolt action rifles, as far as I've seen, and a night vision, not like every attachment. So you can keep an eye on that. And the other cool thing that you can do with Jaeger is that he's the only trader buys from you melee weapons. You can sell melee weapons to him, which is not reliable, but similar to PeaceKeeper. Every time you go into a raid, I usually go without my melee weapon. So whenever I find a melee weapon from a scav, I take it. Even if I die, I will keep it because the melee weapon persists on raid. And then you go and sell it to Jaeger, and it's rules for you, and it's like this metric will go up as well. You will not find enough melee weapons fast enough until you get a Jaeger leveled up. You will not find the intelligence items fast enough to level up PeaceKeeper. Here you don't really have not even like a minimum viable strat. So the other way to get the money spent is just buying stuff that you would normally use, but that's also unreliable. Besides selling stuff to them, you also can use services. The trader, they offer services to you besides just trading. For example, the insurance service is provided by both Prapor and therapist. This is also good to get the money spent on them. The issue now with insurance is that it is bugged. I am getting, for example, with Prapor, I've been getting my stuff delayed for like 1 week. Like for example, this raid on customs, it was on January 3rd, and I got this message. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, and yeah, normally I would say insure with Prapor, it will count as money spent. The other service is armor and weapon repairing. For example, you can repair your weapon. Prapor's gear and mechanic offer the service, so you could use either Prapor's gear. It's not a lot of money, as you can see. like really very little. It's not reliable, and even if it would be reliable, you typically always use your weapon repair kit first because your practical skills, weapon maintenance, which translates into less wear down over time. That's another service, and then there's another service besides Ragman tactical clothing. Like this is like drip, but this is rather expensive. It's not really a service. It's basically trading, but it results effectively in a service, which is currency exchange. Every time you buy dollars from PeaceKeeper, it also counts money spent. Let's buy around $99. You can see it counted. This is typically what I would use to level PeaceKeeper when I want to fill the gap. There's also another currency, level 1 here. The issue with these currencies is like the dollars is not that big of a deal, but it kinda is. You pretty much only use dollars on PeaceKeeper, and with the euros, it's even more restrictive. If you use traders, that's pretty much this. Most of the things that you can realistically buy with some euros are like weapon attachments, which I do buy the Glock sights. I prefer using them. It's extremely specific stuff. These two parts as well. It doesn't feel good buying them, but it's still something that you get out when buying them. It's I would rather buy euros from here than compared to letting him scam me for selling him weapons at not a good price. There's also another angle to level up traders. You see, I have with Jaeger 12.1 money spent. And let's look at level 1 Jaeger. There's also like the possibility of bartering items with the traders. When you barter an item with the trader, the estimated price of the item, let's look for example on the flea market. This is the estimated value of the barter, 129k rubles. When you consume the barter, that counter should go up by that. Let's use this barter for example, 122k and 43 is it was estimated 129 and we spent like 160. So let's use the barter and you can see it went up. So the cool thing about this barter is like as you saw before, I spent 122 and like if I were to buy them now I would spend less. This usually 120 is the mark for these items, and I spent, it was 40 something. So basically if you notice, I can sell the dog tag case right back to Jaeger and basically increase my money spent plus getting money as well. But not only that, you can sell this to therapists and get even more money. Abusing those barters will increase your money spent. This is like the easiest way to level up Jaeger specifically, just running that barter non-stop. What barters should you target? On Prapor, level 1 and level 2, I normally this would be the only good barter you use. As a propane on the flea market, you won't get money like a dog tag case barter, but you will get a good armor that you would be able to use early on. This is a good choice. On level 2 Prapor, what I do is like this barter is very good. For this you need to complete the ice cream cones quest. A barter that you can abuse non-stop is this one. Is the shrimp. Shrimp is a good pistol. So what you can do is you can buy 1, 2. Look at the money spent. Probably will not go up because it's very little, but we did exchange money with the trader. So if you notice, we bought the shrimps, the gunpowders for less than 10k, and then if you sell that to mechanic, you'll basically both increase your money spent on Prapor and you'll get rubles as well. With the skier, for example, level 1, I don't think any of these is worthy. The ones that I like on level 2 are these, for example. This one you can abuse. Let's look at the coffee, 1 and 2 coffees, and you do the barter with them. And we bought the coffees for 10k exactly, and you can sell that to mechanic. Made 2k rubles on each. So you can run that non-stop. There's also this barter, which at the moment you don't make money from that. Or maybe you do 1 and 2. Maybe you do now. You'll get 28k rubles RFP according to skier. But if you sell that to mechanic, is 32k rubles. So you can also make money. Well, so we paid like 13, let's say 14k, which is what therapist pays for the gas analyzer. This is 14k rubles, which would be 28, and you get a surplus of 4k profit. And alternatively, you can keep the RV, or you can even keep just the mag. The RV is a good weapon. This one early on is super nice. Now on level 1, you don't get any good backpack. This is the best you can have from Ragman level 1. PeaceKeeper sells you this level 1. So it's basically buying a hard drive, and you'll get the best backpack that you can get early on. This one is a barter that I would use on level 2. This is the other barter. It's basically an upgraded version of the previous one. The other barter that I like over here is this. It's the whiskeys. You get a 3x scope with a really clean picture, and for 30k rubles, which is actually not a good. It's a good deal. I'm buying this right now because therapist, as you can see, he pays more. But I use the whiskies for that barter, so I'll keep them up. With the Ragman, this is the only one that I would use early on. These 3 masks. Every time I log into a raid, I wear one of these, and if I happen to find one of these masks, I will ditch my balaclava and wear this one. If you notice in the flea market, they are 4 times as expensive as the balaclava, and they cover less of the face, and the reason is this barter. So yeah, this is one that I would use specifically on level 1 to level my reputation up. On Jaeger, we discussed level 1, it was this, and this is the other one that I like, because if you look at the CMS on the flea market, it will be like about 30k, and if you look at these in the flea market, it will be also about 30k. So it's an easy way to get your money spent on him, and you can run 2 per restock. The other good barter is this one. It's not the best, but you need to use this a lot for certain quests, like setup, where you need to kill people with the shotgun and one of these vests. With the Punisher part 4, I think I have it right now. Need to do it. Yeah, I have to use this vest on Lighthouse. Kill people with that. So that's also a good barter. That's usually how I get that rig, using that barter. On level 2 Jaeger, you can also cheese this barter. 1 and 2. And if you do the deal with them, you can sell them the rigs back to Ragman, and it's like almost 12k for each rig. So yeah, you can buy the hunting matches and run that non-stop. The other 2 that I like, I'm gonna tell you more, is this, the Cavasses, and the trick with this is simply you consume the Cavasses down to 1 HP, and when they are like 1 out of 60, you do the barter, and then you get a free TAC 30. The trick also with the Cavasses is that you can also cheese the Cavasses, because you can drink the water down to 1 HP as well, and then buy 4 croutons, and craft your Cavasses from basically just croutons. Cheese, a good scope. TAC 30 is very good this wipe. The new recoil changes. The other barter that I like is the Grizzly. Even though the Grizzly is like 30, it's super cheap right now on the flea market. But if you look at the components, 17k, and this is like 13k. So it's about 30k. It could be usually 32, 34. Why is it important to have this, whether you like the Grizzlies or not in raid? Whenever you die in raid, if you heal with your Grizzly, you will gain experience, which experience as in this experience. Like, whenever you heal in raid and you get a notification of healing experience, you'll get the same thing when you heal out of the raid. And also, healing using the Grizzly is cheaper than healing directly with the service that therapist provides when you die. I would usually use this barter non-stop to get the Grizzlies if I when I run out of them.